Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Waiver Wire Queen, and you're in the right place. If you love fantasy football, hit that like button. If you are a big fan and you're addicted to fantasy football, so I've been playing fantasy football for quite a few years now. It started out horrible for me. I didn't really know what I was doing, and my team was horrible. However, I have become a solid fantasy football owner and a commissioner. That's right, y'all. Waiver Wire Queen is finally at the stage. I'm at the level where I am a commissioner and I run my own league. And when you're running your own league, you have to determine the best platform or app to use to host your league. So for most of my leagues, I predominantly use Yahoo. I actually started out in ESPN and then worked my way to Yahoo. And we would have a bunch of redraft leagues. Hit the like button if you love the redraft leagues, and hit the like button if you love playing on Yahoo or ESPN, because those have been solid and the most consistent ones over the years, especially for me and what I've done over the years. So a few years ago, we switched over to Dynasty. Now, I did not understand or know what the heck Dynasty League were at the beginning. Hit the like button if you guys were confused. Like, what's a Dynasty League? Leave some comments about what it was like transitioning from redraft to a Dynasty League. I know for me, I had my first Dynasty League draft and I drafted as if it was a redraft league. So my team was horrible. Okay, so I got a really good app that I love to use for dynasty leagues. Not all platforms are built for dynasty leagues, because when you're thinking of a dynasty league, you're thinking of, hey, I am the owner, I am the general manager of my team, and I am going to have my team forever or until they, shut the league down and everyone has their own, you know, uh ending of a league is depending on what league you're in and who's the commissioner and what they do and what they like or what the league decides to vote on, you determine how long the league will last. Well, I'm in the business of forever. Forever, ever. That's right. Y'all hit that like button if it's forever. Like, you draft your team and this is your team. You just need to be a general manager and make moves. So my first team, it was crazy, guys. I must admit, it was a bad team. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about Dynasty, and my team was horrible. However, I'm the waiver wire queen. So, I was still working the waiver wires, and, you know, it didn't work. Okay. No, no, no. It didn't work. I know what I was doing. Okay. So I decided to, move one of my redraft leagues over to a dynasty league. Some people do the keeper league. That's fine. I've never done keeper league. The dynasty league. We jumped into it and we used this great platform. We used a great app called the Sleeper app. Never heard of it. So, when it was presented to me, I was like, what? Sleeper app? What is that? You know, Apps I normally use, like I said, I use Yahoo, ESPN. I've used the NFL app to host a league. And I was like, what is that? Like, what is it? Like, okay, come on. So, we dived into this whole sleeper app thing. So then, I was like, okay, all right. I like what I can do here. I have the flexibility to be a real manager. And that's what dynasty is. It's like you really own your team. This is your team for as long as they want to continue hosting the league, and that can be for 3 years, 10 years, 20 years, lifetime, whatever. Okay, so I said, well, let me check with my league and see if they are interested in trying this. I had to sell it to them like, hey guys, come on now, look, boom, 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 let's do the dynasty league. Long story short, we decided to move to the dynasty format in the sleeper app, and everybody loves it. They not only love the Dynasty League, they love the Sleeper app. And I'm going to share a few things as to why I love the Sleeper app, and it has become my app of choice for Dynasty or redraft leagues. I don't even participate in many redraft leagues. I'm still debating on if I'm gonna do a redraft league of my own this year. However, Dynasty is where it's at. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it is. Hit that like button if you're a fan of Dynasty, because you know what, I am. And that is to me, that's the future of fantasy football, the Dynasty leagues. I really love them. Most of the people I deal with and play in different leagues, they really enjoy the Dynasty League. But let's talk about this really good app, the Sleeper app. This app is amazing. Okay. And I'm going to just share with you guys on why I feel like the Sleeper app is dope. Let me just click on the actual site so you can kind of see what the site look like. Okay, so this is what the site looks like. So you see, this is their logo, Sleeper app. I am addicted to fantasy football, guys. If you are addicted to fantasy football, hit that like button and comment. Don't be afraid to admit it. Come on now. Don't be shy. We are all addicted to fantasy football. Because if you're on this channel, you love fantasy football, and you're probably in more than 3 leagues. So that means you have an addiction to fantasy football, and there's nothing wrong with that. So this is pretty much what the app looked like. I really prefer to use the mobile app. It's more convenient for me, obviously, because I'm not on a computer all the time, and I have my mobile app, my phone with me all the time, so I'm able to check out things. A few things I really love about the Sleeper app. I really love, one, the taxi squad, and I kind of think of the taxi squad as practice squad. You know, you can set the commissioner can set the amount of years that you are able to use the taxi squad. It's a max of up to 4 years. You have the option to uh, set a deadline for when the managers can move players in and out of the taxi squads. You can set it at beginning of the season. That's it. You won't be able to do anything. I don't have a deadline for my leagues because I'm treating it as the practice squad, kind of like in the NFL. So say for instance you have a player who you drafted and he's not ready to play, you put him in a taxi squad, and then you start noticing when you're watching the real live NFL games that, hey, this guy is playing well. So what do? You actually move him out of the taxi squad, aka in my mind practice squad, and you bring him up to your active roster to play some games. Let me show you kind of what the taxi squad looks like. It's dope. And I really like the taxi squad. So this is pretty much what my team looked like. This is an actual super flex league. Like any league, any platform, you get to decide on, what the format is for the roster. So in this league, we have 4 taxi squad. So we have 4 taxi squads, and this is what the taxi squad looks like. It's right down at the bottom, just right before the draft picks, and they'll show you draft picks for up to 2-3 years, I believe. And so, like in this taxi squad, I have Daniel Jones, Harris, Lance. Go on and pick up Lance if you're drafting, draft Lance for the future, especially if you're doing dynasty league. And then I have Stevenson from the Patriots. So taxi squad is really good. It's a good tool. I like it because not all rookies or first year players are gonna start immediately. So say you draft Trey Lance, you can put him in a taxi squad and wait for, when the 49ers gives him that chance to start. So that works really well. I don't see that on the other platforms that I have used in fantasy sports. So this is a plus right here, right off the top. This is a plus. This is a great feature to have. And then also another great feature that the Sleeper app has is the trading is dope. You can do more with trading. You can do draft pick trading, so where if you're in an actual draft, you can stop that draft, that commissioner stop that draft and process that trade, and you can get those picks. You can do multiple team trades, which is great. You can trade multiple draft picks, multiple players. The drafting is really really good. I really love that because if you're playing and say other platforms say like Yahoo, which I that's my go-to if I'm not using the sleeper app. Like you can set it to where you are trading draft picks, but I've never been able to do draft pick trades right during the draft. So if that's something that they've corrected or changed, I wasn't able to do it when I was using the Yahoo app. So this is a great plus for the sleeper app. And if you're going to have a dynasty league, you should be able to make trades during the draft, like the real NFL draft, because dynasty is supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be like I'm running the New York Giants or I'm running the Cowboys or whatever team you're running. You know, I'm running Waiver Wire Queen's team in my league, and I want to have the flexibility to make trades during the draft. I don't want to have to say, "Oh, let's do everything before the draft or after the draft." You can do these trades during the draft, and you can trade your picks, your players, and have multiple teams involved in a trade, which is great because you may see that in the real NFL. And that's what dynasty is supposed to be. You're supposed to feel like you're the head honcho, you're running the show. This is the NFL. In our minds, obviously, is dynasty. But if you ask any of these these managers, they'll tell you, yeah, this is the real deal. It's super fun. It's super dope. So some other great uh, features that the Sleeper app has. They have a supplemental draft, and a supplemental draft is okay. So if you're in a dynasty league, you know you got to have drafts after that initial draft, so where you can draft rookies. So you can do the supplemental drafts. You can select up to a certain amount of rounds that you want. I try to keep it at 3 rounds. You can do 5. You, as the commissioner, you get to determine how many rounds. And so, based on the amount of supplemental rounds, will pretty much determine how many draft picks each owner has for a draft. And so, like in this league, we have it at 4. Obviously, I don't know. I don't have a pick in the first round. I'm out here trading, y'all. So I traded my first round pick. Okay, but based on the amount of supplemental draft rounds you select, will determine how many draft picks. So in this league, there are 4. So there will be 4 rounds, 4 rounds in the supplemental draft, and you can determine if you want to have only rookies in that draft or if you want to have rookies and free agents in that draft. I want it to be as realistic as the NFL as possible. So I have it set to only rookies. And we start opening up for business when the NFL opens up they start their new season and begin free agency and things like that. So that's how we do it because we want to feel like it's really really real. Yes, it's really really real out here in these fantasy football streets for us. That's another great thing that the Sleeper app has. A few other things that the Sleeper app has is with the IR slot. Like, the IR slot is important, especially this past season. If you're a commissioner or just anyone who plays fantasy football or any fantasy sports like basketball, you've endured a lot of injuries last season, especially the issues with COVID. So if players had to go into that health and safety protocol, they weren't able to play. So with the IR slot, obviously in any platform, you can set the amount of IR slots you want to have in a league. And that's a good thing, obviously. When we first started out years ago, we didn't have an IR slot. And we had people who downed, oh, what are you doing with an IR slot? Look, players get hurt. And you shouldn't penalize the manager because players get hurt. It's part of any sport. And in real life sports outside of the fantasy world, they have the IR slot. So we started implementing and incorporating the IR slot. And now, we use it regularly. So with the Sleeper app, you have the option to use it for various things. It just gives you more flexibility. You can determine if you want to use it for players that did not report for COVID issues, suspended, um, NA players, doubtful players. I at one point I really didn't like to use it for doubtful players, but that whole doubtful player, it can really frustrate managers because you have a player who you already know, hey, he's not going to play. They know he's not going to play, but once that week it starts over to the next week, it goes from out to doubtful, and now you're waiting and can't do much with your roster because you have this doubtful player who you really need to put in the IR slot, and you can't put him in there because maybe it's not set for your IR slot to allow a doubtful player. That's another a good feature that sleeper app has. You can make those choices. I know that in our fantasy basketball league, we hosted it in Yahoo this year, and they finally added the IR plus slot, which is great. It's been a long time coming. They've added it so you can actually put players who are out in that IR plus slot. So that's a good thing, and hopefully they'll use that for fantasy football this year. Definitely a good tool, and it's good for the managers. It really helps the managers out, and I like it, and it's realistic. Let's face it, players are going to get hurt, and you want the dynasty to have that realistic feel as much as possible. All right. So another great feature that the Sleeper app has, and I used to use this. Like I had one team in the Sleeper app, and I had all of my other teams were in Yahoo. And what I did was I would be going to the Sleeper app to listen to go and check out the news or check out snap percentages and things like that, because the Sleeper app, honestly, you get your news first from the Sleeper app. I'm sorry, but it used to be some other platforms, but no, everything that it comes out first on the Sleeper app for me. And that's my go-to. And so I would use the Sleeper app. I'm like, well, let me go to the Sleeper app and check out the snap percentages. Oh, the Sleeper app just updated me on some information. And then like maybe 10 minutes later, then other sports platforms would or news outlets would send a update or alert on a player status, but you already know, so you're ahead of the game. So that is a great feature that the Sleeper app has. You're already ahead of the game. If you are in, say, a Yahoo League or ESPN, and you say you have a team in a Sleeper app, you already know what's going on with most players, because the Sleeper app, it doesn't sleep. That's why they call it the Sleeper app, in my opinion. Don't sleep, always going to be on the up and up, and you will know what's going on before everyone else knows what's going on. And that is important in fantasy because you want to be ahead of the game. That is the most important thing, to be ahead of the game. And if you have this great app that's letting you know all of the latest news before it hits, and your opponents are not even using the app or don't even know about the app, and you are, kudos to the Sleep app for that one. The snap percentage, I really love that, because you get a breakdown. You get to see, like, if you're looking for a player to, say, trade, you're looking to make a trade, or you're looking to pick a player off of the wire, you get to look at the breakdowns and really see how much is this player playing, what are the trends here. The Sleeper app will provide that for you, so you may not have to go and search anywhere else for that, because it's right there in the app. And that is great playing fantasy football, because you know what, like waiver wire queen, you got to be on the waiver wire sometimes, so you got to know who to pick up, but you also want to know, should you pick up this player, and you want to know, like, the snap percentage and all the different statistics to see, hey, is this guy the right player for me? So I really, really love that feature. It's a great it's a great tool. It's you click on the player. Let's click on the player and see. We may not be able to see it because obviously no season going on right now, but we'll see it for, okay, so 2020 season. It has a full breakdown. And as you can see with Mahomes, yes, I drafted Mahomes in the first round, first pick. This is a super flex league. It shows the percentage, the snap percentage. So I really love that. That is a really good thing. But let's check out a player that may not, play as much. Let's look at um Crowder, because he was out a few times, so you'll see the difference. And so, like week one, his snap percentage was 86, and then you see nothing because he didn't play, and then you'll see the difference in other games. He was at 85, 89, and you see the difference. Look at week 17, 67%. That probably because that's last game of the season. So that is really good. Like I said, I was using that when I was playing on other formats. I mean, other platforms, and I was using that. And some like, what? Why do you know that? How do you know? Well, I am with the app that provides you everything. It's giving you everything, so you don't have to go anywhere else, which is great because you really shouldn't have to go anywhere else. So kudos to Sleeper app for that. I have no complaints with that. And like I said, updates, daily updates. You just turn on your channel to what news and information you want, kind of like other news outlets or sports platforms like Bleacher, where you can select like the sports team you want to receive notifications for. You can do that right here in the Sleeper app. Is really good. I really like that. Let's talk about another great feature on this app. It's his history feature. So let's look at Will Fuller's history. So the history feature, it allows you to see the entire history of a player, starting from their first season. You'll see stats, fantasy points, position rank, and standard and PPR, trade if they were traded, etc. You'll see all of that good stuff on here. So let's see if we can see it here. Yes, we see transaction history. Oh, okay. Will Fuller is like, don't mess around. Don't look at my history in this league. Okay, so the transaction history for Will Fuller shows that he was drafted by Quentin, aka Dallas fan. What's up, Quentin? He was drafted in round 13 with the sixth pick in that round. And that was going back in August. And then he was traded to obviously the one and only waiver wire queen. And it shows you the details of the trade. I really like that you can just click on right into the player and see all of that information. It's really good. It's something that a lot of platforms use. And it's good because you get to know the history of what's going on. I mean, I think that is important in any type of trade or anything that you do. You just really need to know. So, what do y'all think about that? Hit that like button if you feel on the Sleeper app. Come on now, that's what I'm talking about. Now you can click on the team tab on specific player and see the depth chart of a team, which is another good thing. You know, for that feature, let's see. Most likely you have. Well, look at Blake Martinez. He's going through a lot. Now on the actual mobile app, you'll just click on that player and it'll give you the option you click. So right here on the desktop, you'll see with Blake Martinez, you'll just go down, scroll to the, just look at your to the right. My right, I'm on my right. Maybe your left, and you'll see where it says depth chart. You'll see like the players at every position, and it'll be in the order of the depth chart, which is really good. So you don't have to go to other sites and pull up like who is on this team and who's in what order. Because if you're looking to make a trade, or if somebody sends you a trade and you really don't know a lot about the player, you can kind of go here and check out the history of the player. You can see where they are on the depth chart, and then you can click and see what's going on with that player back to the snap percentage and other things. You get to check all that information out to see if this player is someone you would trade away assets for. You definitely don't want to make a trade and you don't know what's going on. So this, it helps in a sense to let you know, like, okay, where is he on the depth chart? But does that even matter in football? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Obviously, it would matter with Saquon. He's at the top. we all know that. But a player like, if someone's trying to trade you Devontae Booker, you're going to go and you don't really know much. So you're just getting started. Like when I had my first start, you're going to want to look here and see, and you see, oh, well, Saquon's at the top. You need to go check and see who's playing. You can click on Saquon, see, like I just did here. You click on Saquon, and obviously he didn't play much 2020 because he was hurt. But if you look back at 2019, you're like, okay, well, Saquon played a lot. So whoever his backup is, why would I want to trade for his backup? Unless I'm in a dynasty league and I have Saquon, maybe I would want his backup because he's been injured. And then in that case, go on and trade for his backup. But you're not going to be giving away a whole lot for his backup because you got Saquon. However, it's good to have a backup for running back and say Saquon's case, because he's suffered injuries the last 2 seasons. But I wouldn't give up a lot for any of their backups. Like, what are you really going to give up for his backup? Exactly, not much, because I'm quiet with that. You're not going to give up a whole lot. All right. Now on the actual, let's stop sharing for a little bit, y'all. Hope y'all enjoying this little review on a sleeper app. It's my first time doing a review so far. I hope you guys are loving the app. I'm loving the app. I honestly, I use the app, like I said earlier, on my phone the most. When we're drafting, they have they've added this lounge voice where you can actually talk and stuff while you're drafting. I think that's really cool. A few cons, I would say, I would like to see a little more improvements of the desktop features. And I mean, and just the look of the desktop. It's still solid, but you got to kind of, move around. I just feel more comfortable using my phone with it. It's still really, really good. The watch list, I've noticed that, like, say I'm in a few different leagues. I'm in about 4 or 5 leagues, and I click on players in one league to put them in my watch list. What I notice is that it's just one big watch list for all the leagues that you're in. And that's something that they should improve on, because I should just see the watch list for players in this league and watch list for players in that league. And at first I didn't realize that until I was in a league. I'm in a league, Superflex league, and we have individual defensive players. And so I was in my other Superflex league, and in that league we don't have those individual defensive players. And so I was like looking at my watch list, and I'm like, why is Blake Martinez in my watch list for this league? And so then I'm looking around, and I had to realize that, oh, there is just one big watch list. Now that is something that I'm not a fan of, and that has to be corrected. But does that stop me from joining leagues or running leagues in the Sleeper app? Hell no. Sleeper app is dope. Okay, so if you're not using the Sleeper app, guess what? You need to wake up, because you're sleeping on the Sleeper app, and you need to stop sleeping on the Sleeper app and get out here in these sports streets and enjoy the Sleeper app. Okay, because the Sleeper app is dope. But let's go right back to the Sleeper app platform and just kind of play around and just see a few more things. I will tell you this, like all leagues, like all platforms, it'll show you the matchups, and it'll show you what you're projected to score, and it'll show you the percentage of who's going to win. That is good. There are some features that the commissioner cannot do on the actual mobile app that the commissioner can do on the desktop. And that is normal for any platform. So am I going to give them a negative or take away points from the greatness of the app because of it? No, I am not. It's still dope. It's still amazing. I've never slept on Sleeper, and you shouldn't be sleeping on the Sleeper app because it's dope. I really like. Let's go into a mock draft. Let's just do a little quick mock draft. Yeah, we're just gonna do a standard one and just show you what it really looks like. The only thing that I don't necessarily like about it is I would like to either have my the players I'm going to be picking or the different teams. Pretty much this right here, I would prefer this in one area, like maybe to the side, and then I would prefer all the players to the other side. So that's something to improve on. But I think the I enjoy doing mock drafts just for fun. So like I had a draft on Monday and we drafted late, like 7:30 at night. I was doing mock drafts all day. It was just fun. I don't know about you guys, but hit that like button if you enjoy doing mock drafts, because guess what? We love doing mock drafts. And it's just fun. So I will let's just say that I'm gonna go first. Okay. Waiver Wire Queen is gonna go first. And then you just gotta start the draft. Now I found out, like, when I first, like, I normally do all of my drafts through the mobile app. And so to start a draft, it changed. It used to be in one location, but it's somewhere else. And you gotta find that. See, I don't want mine to be like that. I don't agree with having it there, but can have it wherever they want. So, ooh, when you click here, this is where you'll be able to find, like, the different features. If you want to invite someone, create a copy of the draft, switch the draft settings. Let's click on that. And that's just basically to change time and stuff. You can go in here and just kind of switch up how you want the format to be, which is great. Um, Snake drafts, linear drafts, the auction drafts. I had my first auction draft in fantasy baseball, which was really dope. But we stick to we stick to what we know. I don't think most people in my league are ready for the auction type draft. We we're not ready for that, but it's fun. But I think we would probably be there all night if we were doing that. So yeah, we're not going to be doing that anytime soon. And then you just get kind of just decide on the teams or whatever, and you choose everything here and you select your draft order. But for the purposes of this, we're just gonna begin a draft. Um, and just hit okay. So I'm it's no pressure. It's all this pressure on Waiver Wire Queen. Oh my goodness, it's so much pressure. So I'm in this draft and I get to just decide on who I want to pick. So right here you see the player, you'll see a plus sign, you'll see their ADP, when their bye week is, projections. You see the projection of the points and their average, and then it'll just show a breakdown. And in this case, you'll see Christian McCaffrey, CMC. You'll see his breakdown of rushing projections and everything else. And so I'm for the purposes of this draft, I'm just gonna pick him now. And you just hit that plus sign and draft him. Now you can change the time you're giving the managers to pick in this draft, and you can do that in most platforms, because some people want to do 1 minute, 2 minutes, 1 hour, 8 hours. I've been in drafts where we would draft. It'll take the whole day. Everybody will get a day to pick, which is extreme, but I mean, it is what it is. You pick what your preference is. And so so far this, obviously everybody took a running back in this one. So I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna take Jefferson. Oh, Waiver Wire Queen has 2 back-to-back picks. So what do I do here? If I want to take a quarterback, I can, but I'm gonna be crazy and I'm gonna take Kittles in the 3rd round. So this is how the draft goes. And then over here you get to see the players that you selected. This is the chat where you can talk trash, which is fun. I done clicked on the little bear mug. You got your emojis over here. It's really cool. You can click on this plus sign right here and can add a poll. Say I want to add a crazy poll, like, hey, who do you think has the best team? Or do you think they should have picked so and so at that pick? It's really cool. Great great app overall. So here I am looking to see who I want to pick. It's still tight ends here. I can go quarterback. They're down to Josh Allen, so I'm gonna say let's take Josh Allen. And I gotta realize, oh, you got another pick. Go on and pick again. So I'm gonna take Amari Cooper. So yeah, you can see, like, with the mock drafts, like in any on any platform, the mock drafts will go fairly fast. Um, you want to make sure you have the sound on, so if you step away from your computer, you know that, okay, it's your turn. You hear that noise, it's brrrr, you hear it, and then, and then you're like, okay, it's my go. And then you go. And so that's how we do it. And I think for this draft, I'm just gonna I got the one of the top 5 running backs, so I'm gonna take Edmonds, who waiver wire queen feels is a sleeper. So don't sleep on Edmonds, and don't sleep on a sleeper app. Hit that like button if you were sleeping on a sleeper app, but now you are awake and you are not sleeping on a sleeper app, and you are ready to start your dynasty league in a sleeper app or redraft or keeper, whichever one you prefer. You can transition. You can transition your Yahoo league to the sleeper app. It's really good. I recommend doing it. Let me see who I drafted. I'm taking forever in this draft. So yeah, you just scroll up and see. So let's see who I want to draft. I think I want to go and grab another wide receiver here. Hmm. Maybe I'll just take a running back. How about that? I'm gonna take a Robinson here. Ooh. So I like that. So this is really good, and it moves fairly fast. And like I said again, you get to kind of determine, hey, I want to switch the time. You can pause the draft, as you can see. You can end it, but don't do that unless the draft, unless you guys have agreed to end or pause it. Don't end it, but pause it if say you guys are like, okay, we're gonna pause the draft if say you have several hours for a pick and you're like, okay, we're not gonna get through it. Pause it and wait to see another day, y'all. Wait to enjoy this sleeper app for day 2 of the draft. It really just depends on what your commissioner decides to do. And then I always believe that with certain things in the league, it should be up for vote. So it's always good to get um, your your players in the league. Okay, so I just drafted Williams, and it just made that, it gave me the, oh wow, like, is that a surprise? Like, come on, what's wrong with Williams? But no, I like that. That's cool. But yeah, I like the whole concept of there are certain things you want to discuss with your league before you make those decisions, because you just never know, like, what's going on and how everybody feels about certain things. And that may be the difference between somebody, leaving the league. You can't allow people to run your league as a commissioner, but you want the managers to feel like they have a say so with certain things, or at least a vote. At the end of the day, as the commissioner, you have to be the one to make that ultimate decision on how things go. However, you should let your league, you should let them know what's going on, and certain things you just vote. Like if you have to change something at the end of the season that's going to be critical, major, like say you guys realize, okay, we need to switch. We need to add the flex position instead of a wide receiver. Just an example. I believe that you should vote on that. You shouldn't just go out and just switch something up. The guy y'all have already voted. I mean, y'all have already drafted and been running the league based on something. So if it's something major you need to switch, you should check with you should put it to vote. That's how we do things, and we don't have any problems over here. I don't have to get all crazy as a commission. I run things nice and smooth, and we don't have any issues. So that's how all leagues should go. Look at that. They out here let a sister get Kyle Pitts and Kittles. Come on, computer. The computer gonna have to step their game up out here against Waiver Wire Queen, because she out here. I'm running this draft. But no, y'all. This is pretty much what it looks like. And since this is a mock, I'm gonna end up getting ready to get out. Again, you see you can switch it to auto pick here and do that. But I'm gonna end the draft just to get out. And you see you can move the picks to full screen, which I don't like because now I can't see what I'm doing. So I would like to see this screen. So let's get ready to jump out of this. So this is where you can say we're gonna end this draft. Let's just end it, and then they'll finish it, and you see that that noise. And then at the end of this mock, you get the option to convert to a league or view the benefits. Let's click on view benefits to see what benefits they offer. Okay, so here's going to the actual sleeper website. We're not gonna We're not gonna do all of that. So we're gonna jump right back out of that, and we're gonna stop sharing for a moment. So, so what do y'all think so far? Are you guys sold on the Sleeper app? Because I've been sold on it. Like I said, I run all of my leagues out of the Sleeper app. Let's go check out some of the commissioner features. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sharing my screen again. I shouldn't have stopped, but I did. But ain't nothing. It ain't nothing, y'all. It's nothing but to just click back on that share screen. Oh, now Waiver Wire Queen about to share the screen, and I'll just show you guys quickly some of the different features. We're gonna go into one of our sleep super flex leagues. And obviously I'm the commish. You see, got the name of the league there. It's a Vibe super flex dynasty. It's Vibe Sports Talk. Check out that podcast when Thursdays. And also, if you're on Facebook, check out the It's a Vibe sports group on Facebook. Okay, so right here you get the, determine some things. Let's hit the little, we're gonna call that the wrench. You'll see the league settings, add supplemental draft. We've already had one. If we want to do another one, which I don't see why we would, you would go here and click that. If I'm just starting the league and I want to add a league manager, you can copy the link here. We can go here and review the draft results, and then we can go here and also manage co-owners. If we want to add someone to a team, so let's click on league settings quickly. So in the league settings feature, you can see obviously league settings where you'll name your league. You can put a logo, and we got the It's a Vibe Sports Talk logo. You can set the amount of teams you want in this league. 32, that's extreme. I've never been a part of anything more than 16. Most people I play with do not do 16 teams. They don't like it. So I've gotten a lot of experience from doing 16 teams. That's a lot, and you really got to be on your A game when you're in a 16 team league. And then obviously if you're going to do 18, 20, and so on and so forth, you really have to know your ish, because if you don't, you're definitely going to be in last place, like I was my first time playing fantasy football. All right, so in this league, we have 10 teams, waiver type, rolling waivers, reverse standings, or FAAB bidding. And we do that. So they pretty much have to bid on free agents. We have $100 in this league. It's incentive based. So they get extra little FAAB cash, I'll call it, based on certain things throughout the season. So it's a bonus. This is a winner takes all league. So it's very competitive and fun. And then we get to determine when these are things that are already in all pretty much all of the platforms: Yahoo, ESPN, the NFL website app. This is the basics. And then you get to see times time players are on waivers after drop. You make a decision. Like I said, this is stuff that's already there. I want to show you some things that are not there. As you can see with the waivers, you can switch different times and select when. We have different times each day. Well, everybody's on waivers because it's FAAB, except for Sundays. Football, obviously, most of the games are on Sunday, so we want everyone to be able to pick up players, and not, be penalized night before. And oh, if you didn't do it, you're out, because you never know what's going to happen, especially on Sunday, if you're thinking or expecting someone to play and then at the last minute they're not. So, and then trade deadline, playoffs, teams in playoffs, you see all of that. I want to show you not the injury reserve, but you can do up to 10, which is insane. I just clicked on it. Let's go right back into it. Come on. I want to go all the way down here and show you guys. Well, right here where you get to select redraft, keeper, and dynasty. Obviously, they said the redraft is the most popular for me, and what I'm doing right now. Everybody that I'm playing fantasy football with, they really love dynasty. They're starting to say that they don't even want to do the redraft leagues anymore. it's addictive. You'll have someone who start one league, and next thing you know, oh, let's start another league, because everybody just really enjoy running their team and running their team long term, not like just for a season. Okay, so this is where you can select what you need for the taxi squad. This is the feature to where you want to allow non-rookies for taxi, and like I said earlier, that the taxi is kind of like it's kind of like a practice squad to me. You can select the amount of years. Again, I said it was up to 4 years. You can do no max, which I don't recommend doing that. And then you have the deadline of when they can move these players in and out. And so if you don't have one, then you don't have one. And in this league, we need to set it so there's no deadline. So then you hit the save button, you save. Now team settings, that's for your team. You can what I feel is dope is you can change the name of your players. So I done went in here for the first time and I done changed players names, like Justin Jefferson. I done changed his to Kirk, give me the ball. And then just different little names you can give your players nicknames, which is really cool. I like that. And I did that to all of my players. I changed it. Here is where you'll select the roster setup as the commissioner. You see scoring, determine how that your league's going to be set up, your draft setting. You have the 3 different draft types, the amount of time. You can do 24 hours. I do not want to do 24 hours. I'm not interested in that. That's just not cool. Okay, I'm not with it. And then you can come in here and set the draft order. You can randomize it, or you can assign everyone to wherever they're supposed to pick. Um, as you can see, you can determine who you're going to have drafting, whether it's all players, rookies only, or vets only. This needs to be rookies only. And then you can sort things, and then you just save anytime you are making changes. And in this one, we got an error because we didn't select the draft type, so we don't have to worry about that yet because we're not drafted. So draft time, you set the draft time. Divisions, if you want divisions, you can. This time around, we have 2 divisions. We have East, and then we have the South, because we got people from the dirty South, and then we got people obviously from the East Coast. Here are the member settings, and this is where you can unassign and remove those members. If you want to see co-owner settings, you can go there and search for that member. And commissioner controls is where you can go in here and update scoring. The app is so self-explanatory, and the features are really good. They're probably going to add some more features. Again, I feel like they have to separate that waiver wire. That's one of the things. I noticed that having a league where we draft individual defensive players, they kind of waited really, really close to the draft to add those defensive players. And I had managers asking me about that. So maybe that's something that they can improve on and get those rookies in there earlier. And since this is a new league, you're not going to see anything there. Let's check out some other. Okay, let's click. Let's click on the copy the link, where you get to see I copied the link, and that'll allow someone to, I can allow someone to join again. Draft results, click on it, and we'll see the entire draft, every player that each manager drafted. This was our first draft, so this was the start of this league, and with the first pick, Derrick Henry went first. I've never seen him go first in any league, so that was the first for me. But hey, you pick who you want to pick. Waiver Wire Queen was able to get Dalvin Cook at pick number 6. This is a super flex league, so you notice 1, 2, 3, 4 quarterbacks went in the first round. One thing to kind of pay attention to when you're looking at your draft picks, or just when you're in the draft, you see 1.1. The 1 will represent that first one will represent the round, and then you see point one that represents he has the first pick. Let's go to, okay, so round four. You see the four, so that represents this is the fourth round, and this is pick seven. So this was going snake. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that's what you got to keep in mind when you're looking, because it kind of confuses some people, but you just got to keep in mind that, okay, this is the third round and it's pick two in the third round. It's the fifth round and this is pick number two in the fifth round. This is the sixth round and this is pick number three, and it's three because it was a snake, and this is the initial draft and it was going snake style. So it starts at the beginning, then it ends right here, and then it starts with the person who had the last pick in the draft, and then we go on back. I like it. So that's good. I like that you're able to see um previous, I mean, not, well, yeah, you can see previous draft results, but you can just click on your draft results. That's really good. And most platforms have that feature and that option, which is really, really good. Some other things I'm say I like, I really do just overall like the app. I'm giving them a 4.5 out of 5. Some people may say that's high. I don't feel like that's high because the sleeper app has met and exceeded our expectations for what we were trying to do. And like I said, we've used 3 other platforms, or if you want to call them apps, for our fantasy sports. Yahoo became our go-to app, and then now Sleeper is now our go-to app. If we decide to do a redraft league this season, we'll most likely move it over to the Sleeper app. I haven't been in any redraft leagues in the Sleeper app, but I'm sure, obviously you have your same features, and you can go through the whole process of setting that league up however you want, and it's a redraft league. So that's something we may look into. We have 3 leagues, and so 2 of them are super flex. One has the uh, individual defensive players, and then we have a standard one, and then we have a super flex that we also have a kicker and a defense. So it is what it is. It's pretty much whatever you choose to do. So watch list. Let's look. I don't even remember setting a watch list here, but I know that on the actual app of the app on the phone, I have one full watch list. I haven't been able to figure out how to just see my own players on the watch list for one particular league. But I really do like that you can check out the projections, stats. I mean, everything here is self-explanatory. In most platforms, when you're looking at the free agents, you can kind of go to different stats. You can check out the stats. You can check out whatever the projections are. You can do for the week, for the season. Most apps have this, so this is not just a sleeper thing. So that's good. I really like the way it looks. Like I said, I'm more comfortable using my cell phone. So let's check out the research. Okay, this is another good um, feature, and it's right in that league that you're in. And you, when you're using your cell phone, you're looking on the Sleeper app on your phone, you can click over to the side. It's to your right, and you can see like the players who are pretty much trending up, and then you'll see the players right on the app on the phone. You'll see the players trending down on the actual desktop. You'll see the players trending up, and then next to it you'll see the players trending down, and you can kind of look to see if there's anybody that you know you may want to pick up. Most likely, if you're in certain dynasty leagues, there are no players to really pick up that's trending up. They're all pretty much on somebody's roster, and then as you can see at the top, they'll tell you the best available players, which is really good. But at the end of the day, you still have to do some homework on your own to make sure that player is right for your team, because this is a dynasty team. So it's your team. It's not just a redraft 1 year thing. This is your team long term. So you have to make sure that you make the best choices and make the best decisions for your team. This is your franchise, guys. It's fun. I'm telling you, it's fun. And having an app like the Sleeper app to host your dynasty league is really good. I have no issues with the Sleeper app. Am I missing anything? Can go in here. I got my little logo. Most of the the platforms you could put like a picture or whatever. And oh, let me get out of there. Can't show my phone number to the world. Hey, let's go into another league. So yeah, it's pretty much the same setup for each league. You can do your direct messages. You can message anybody in on any platform in those leagues. You know, so it's really fun. I must admit. And here, if I want to create a new league, click great. But we're not gonna do that. Waiver Wire Queen is not creating any more leagues. I haven't had 3 leagues that I've created, and every time I turn around, someone's asking Waiver Wire Queen to join their league, and I love it. I love it. All right, so for fantasies, for purposes of this review, I'm just talking about fantasy football because that's what we do. But we actually tested the fantasy basketball feature, and so right now the fantasy basketball is only on the mobile app, but I'll just kind of tell you a little bit about it. Let's stop sharing. We're no longer sharing, y'all. I know sharing is caring, but Waiver Wire Queen isn't no longer sharing. But hit that like button if you are enjoying this review of the Sleeper app, and if you are considering switching over to the Sleeper app. It's a dope app. I guarantee you'll love it, and you'll move all of your leagues over to the Sleeper app. But back to the fantasy basketball app. Um, you have to pick your players for weekly. It's kind of, to me, like football concept, where you know how we in football, fantasy football, you're doing the games for the week. It's the same concept for similar concept for fantasy basketball. So where you pick a game that you feel like, say for example, the Greek Freak, say he's playing Boston, and you'll be able to see the games for the week that he's playing, and you'll select whichever game you think he's projected to score the most fantasy points. And that's pretty much for basketball. They're still working on it. I'm confident that once they get it to where they want it to be, it'll be good. I have uh, people in my football league, they want to start the dynasty league and the Sleeper app for basketball. We did a test run. However, we're gonna kind of just wait to see whatever they may add, or what else they may add for the next season. I think they probably will, because this was the first test run. They all thought it was cool. I still want to see a little bit more added to it, but nonetheless, this is still a really good app. And again, did I say hit that like button if you are enjoying this review on the Sleeper app and you are no longer sleeping on the Sleeper app. Come on now, how could you sleep on the Sleeper app? If you are a fan of dynasty leagues, or if you are considering it, Sleeper app is the way to go for your dynasty league. That's just Waiver Wire Queen's opinion, you know? It is what it is. All right, y'all. Y'all let me know what you think. Let me know what app or platform you are using to host your fantasy football league, whether it's a dynasty league, keeper league, or redraft league. Let me know what platform or app you are using, and let me know if you're considering switching over to the Sleeper app. And also hit that like button if you want to see more videos on fantasy football and reviews of Sleeper app. Y'all let me know what you think. Follow me on Facebook, IG, Twitter, and TikTok, because I'm now a TikToker at Waiver Wire Queen. And hit that subscribe button and subscribe to Waiver Wire Queen and turn on those notifications so you are in the loop when we start releasing more videos and more content on the upcoming fantasy football season, because you want to be ahead of your competition, and Waiver Wire Queen is going to get you ahead of your competition. So you want to subscribe for more. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great evening. Peace.